Picture this: you meet someone amazing, they make you laugh, your conversations feel endless, and for a moment, it feels like you're about to step into something beautiful. But then, you pull back. You tell yourself you're busy, you keep your distance, and suddenly, you feel safer. Why does this happen? Why, for so many people, does emotional detachment feel like a warm protective blanket, while love feels like walking into a storm? The truth is, when you emotionally distance yourself, your brain reduces the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone associated with trust and closeness. It's not that they don't want love, it's that their nervous system has learned to equate closeness with danger. So detachment becomes their version of safety. At the same time, you avoid triggering cortisol, the stress hormone that spikes when relationships feel unstable or risky. Essentially, by staying detached, your brain keeps you in a calm, low-risk state. It feels safer because there's no emotional roller coaster, no wild highs followed by devastating lows. This isn't just about fear of commitment, it's about how your brain has learned to protect you. Because your brain evolved to protect you from pain before it ever taught you how to embrace joy. But while safety can keep you from falling, it can also keep you from flying. Love will always carry risk, but it's also where some of life's deepest rewards are found. The challenge isn't to choose between safety and love, it's to create a space where you can have both, open-hearted, but strong enough to stand, even if someone doesn't catch you. And today, we're diving deep into the psychology of why emotional detachment often feels safer than love, even when your heart longs for connection. At its core, emotional detachment is a protective mechanism. But it's also deeply rewarding, it's where people find some of their happiest and most meaningful experiences. When you stay emotionally detached, you avoid heartbreak, but you also avoid connection, intimacy, and belonging, the very things that help humans thrive. Instead, start by asking yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I let someone in? Often, people stay detached because they rely on others to define their worth, and when that's shaky, they retreat. By learning to validate yourself, to acknowledge your feelings, strengths, and value, you make love less threatening, because your sense of safety no longer depends entirely on someone else's behavior. Naming your fear helps your brain see it clearly instead of reacting blindly. Build trust slowly, share little pieces of yourself and notice how safe or unsafe it truly feels. Remind yourself that vulnerability doesn't mean recklessness, it means allowing yourself to be seen without losing your sense of control. Over time, this safety zone can feel like a cage. You may feel secure, but also oddly empty, wondering why relationships never feel deeply fulfilling. Your brain is wired to avoid pain more strongly than it seeks pleasure. Maybe as a child, you opened your heart to someone, like a parent, caregiver, or close friend, and were met with rejection, neglect, or unpredictable love. Those experiences shape your brain's protective systems. Over time, you may unconsciously build emotional walls, thinking, if I don't fully attach, I won't get fully hurt. It's survival logic dressed up as emotional maturity. In psychology, this is called loss aversion. Losing something or someone hurts far more than gaining something of equal value brings joy. When you're detached, you feel like you're steering your own emotions, keeping them safe and untouchable. Love, on the other hand, feels uncertain, uncontrollable, and even threatening. The vulnerability required for love, sharing your fears, dreams, and imperfections, can feel like standing on a cliff with no guarantee someone will catch you if you fall. When it comes to love, the stakes feel incredibly high: rejection, betrayal, heartbreak, or abandonment. For many people, their minds equate deep emotional closeness with the risk of deep emotional pain. Often, this pattern starts early. And here's the paradox: emotional detachment doesn't feel like loneliness, it often feels like control. How the brain reinforces detachment. Neuroscience plays a role here too. In fact, studies on attachment styles show that people who develop avoidant attachment patterns often experience real discomfort with intimacy. The cost of staying detached. But here's the thing: while emotional detachment protects you from pain, it also blocks you from joy. Love is risky, yes. How to balance safety with love? The key isn't to swing from one extreme to the other. Ripping down your walls overnight can feel just as unsafe. Another step is self-validation. Emotional detachment feels safer than love.